So Dr. Kamran, how are you?
Fine, absolutely fine.
We are talking about sports and what you learned back then from school, from your sport, your evening games compared to your academics. Would you please share it with us?
Susanna, I must tell you that when I was in school, it was a school in which there was a lot of discipline forced as far as the games were concerned. And we used to have compulsory evening games in the school, and in those days we used to really hate those games because we had to come back from the school and then change and then go back again for the evening games, and we didn't have much time left for us actually. In those days probably we didn't realize the importance of all those evening games, but now today I think I can well realize that why they were so important. We had a very wonderful and very strict disciplinarian principle in those days in our school. And if we used to miss one class, or one day of teaching of the academic sessions, the maximum that used to happen was that the next day the class teacher would ask me, and I'll give him some reason of not coming to school, whatever that reason was. And but if I used to be absent from my evening games, the next day, the first thing in the morning during the assembly, there was a roll call in which all the absentees of the last day's evening games were called, and they were sent directly to the principal's room. And you cannot imagine what does that mean actually.
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment is probably a very small word if you have met that principal. Because we did not used to even cross the principal's office if the door was open. He was we used to be so afraid of him. So this was the kind of importance actually. This was the kind of importance that was attached to the evening games.
So what did you learn as an adult?
And now I can very frankly tell you that much of the things that I have learned in my life, nothing special was learned during the classes, because it was all written in the books. And books, there was nothing special which was written in those books, but all the experiences that I have learned of meeting people, interacting with people, working with, fighting with boys and making friends, all these things which I have learned was during those evening games, not during the classroom sessions in which we used to sit there and listen to whatever the teacher was saying. So I think it was a wonderful thing, those evening games, and I hope and I wish that these sporting activities can be extended as much as possible, because you can read books at home, but you cannot learn these things what I've told you.
Yeah.
Sitting in your houses or studying.
We were talking about that Pakistani youth has too much time on their hands and they're wasting a lot of time, and it's because there is no sports for them.
Yeah, you're right. Because, look, there are a couple of things that are happening. Number one, there is a television which runs 24 hours a day with like 100 channels on it. And the cost is so low that almost everybody can afford it. So then there is a computer. So whatever time the children are off the television screens, they go and cling to the computer screens. Then there is internet, then there is emails, and then there are video films, CDs and DVDs. Again, they are so cheap and so frequently available that again somebody going out from the television, moving from the computers, and again they can go to. Then there are video games. If you work out the time that the students less than 16 years of age have at their disposal when they are not in school or when they are not doing anything like eating or whatever, if you before they go to sleep, if you figure out that time, let me tell you, 80% of that time is spent in front of some type of screen.
It's actually 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Very sadly.
So if 30% of our population is spending 6 to 8 hours of their time, of their spare time, in front of the television screens. What kind of horrible things can happen to their health in the next 15 to 20 years? Probably this is one reason. Probably. When I was studying medicine, I still remember one case, and that was the case of a young fellow. He was like 27 or 28 years of age, and he got a heart attack, and he came to our ward. And believe you me, it was 89-90. It was 89-90. I'm telling you, like 25 years, 22 years back.
Yeah.
That was the time when other doctors from other wards of the hospital came to our ward, and for the purpose of seeing a patient of heart attack with an
such a young age.
At such a young age. But you go with me to the hospitals and you can find 100 such patients lying on the beds of the same age group.
Yes.
And probably this is the reason.
Yeah. And your children are doing sports.
Yeah.
Right? So let's just make that story into another movie.